Shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, Spider Farmer. Whether you got a big grow, a little grow, they've got you covered. Check Amazon, the links below with the promo code. Thanks, Spider Farmer, for sponsoring today's episode.
Bill, who raised me?
Yeah.
My stepdad.
Raised by a lie, eh? He's not actually a scientist. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, but
He
Dr.
tells
Phil's not a
science.
doctor, so it's like, move on.
You know?
But if Oprah says he is, then he is. I don't care what you said.
It doesn't matter. He's
There's
somebody
there's a debate between Bill Nye and theologist, I can't remember his name.
He didn't have a show, did he?
Nope, but he's got a museum. And this museum's like the biggest museum in... Oh, Ken Ham. Yeah, Ken Ham.
Ken
That's
Ham,
the
what
one.
an easy, cool name. Ken
That's
Ham.
the one. Yeah. And so needless to say, Ken Ham is a strong believer that, theologically, the answers come from the book, like from the Bible. And Bill Nye saying, no, we do like carbon tracing and we can like test oxygen in the ice and we can see that the world's been around for millions and millions of years. And Ken Ham says, nope, 2,000 years. 2,000 years. That's what the book says.
You weren't even a scientist.
Yeah.
And then dropped his mic and walked away. I was like, whoa.
His main response was every time, like essentially Bill would say, and well, it's still inconclusive. We don't have that evidence. Ken Ham would say, well, there's a book for that. He's just talking about the Bible. Like, oh.
Yeah, I hate the people like that who are just so confident because there's not something. Like, there's no such thing as aliens. Prove it.
Yeah, prove it.
There's no such thing as prove it. It's like, okay. So if somebody just hands you a book and they say that this was studies done here and here, you're not even going to look into the shit. You're just going to be like, facts.
Yeah.
These are facts.
Yeah.
People are so fucking stupid.
It's kind of irritating. Little bit. There's a book for that. There's a book for that.
That'll teach you about that.
Yeah. So yeah. That's one of the other controversies in the. It's crazy that you can have two scientists. And my boy came out to me. He's like, I don't know whether God exists. I don't know whether to believe in him or not. I said, well, you got to ask yourself this question. I was like, do you think you know everything? He's like, no. I was like, okay. Well, is there more? Do you think you know more than you don't know? He's like, no. I was like, okay, well, do you think it's possible that the possibility of God existing or, in this case, aliens existing could possibly happen in this realm of this don't know? Maybe. So then you can't say it doesn't exist.
Maybe. Could happen.
You can't. You just can't say it doesn't exist.
Anything could exist.
Anything can because we don't know.
Thor could be real.
We don't know. That's right. Thor is real. God of the lightning guy.
Yeah.
Son of lightning god guy. Yeah.
Well, it's like, weirdly enough, a little pivot on that. How did you handle God and your kids? Like, I'm not a super religious person. I don't go to church. I don't do none of that. My family's more Jewish than anything. But I was just like, yeah, there's a God. God created everything. And my kid's just like, huh. And then all of a sudden, recently, my son was like, who's Jesus? And I was like, oh, shit. Well, some people say, like, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's crazy. We're in a day, and like, if you are already a very religious person, common sense, like, oh, Jesus, son, but then for me,
but then you get back
say he's just like a prophet.
Then you get backed into a corner, man. Whether you try to prove yay or nay, you'll end up getting backed into a corner in terms of like, well, then how come this? And you're like, I don't know. I like to leave it open. I don't know either. I'm not atheist. I don't believe really in anything.
It's almost like agnostic, but not agnostic, because it's like I know I don't know.
Right. I don't know. But what I do believe, I do believe in a higher power. But the difference is I take on like a Judeo kind of belief in that I don't believe that this higher power is some being or some entity that's out there looking over us. I believe that higher power is in you. And you need to find that higher power. And, it's whether or not that is like through insight or through religion or, whatever it is, that higher power, you need to access it and find it. But it's in here. It's not outside. It's inside. So, I try to pass that on to my boy, It's like, leave any option open. I'm not going to shut any doors on his beliefs because why would I? Who am I to do that? So if he comes to me and says, who is God? I would just simply say, I don't personally, I don't know. I don't know. Some people think that he's responsible for this, and this, but I don't know. I have no problem saying I don't know to my boy. You know what I mean?
It's a different approach because that's how I do it too. And I felt like fucking growing up, that was never the case. There was always a
Mm-mm.
definitive answer given,
Right,
and
right,
then
and
I
that's
would
why I
go into
couldn't
life
believe.
thinking this well, that's exactly my point, because then when I turn 8 and I'm told, not just Santa Claus is real,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it
fucking
all hits.
wrestling?
And the bunny guy and that
I
fairy.
I walked out of the room after the wrestling drop, like, that was fucked.
It's a
Fucked.
lot, it's a lot, it's a lot, but that's
Well, and
just
learn
it.
it's
It's
like,
like,
"You've been lying to
here's
me this whole time, like, my family's been
but
lying," like,
here's the thing though. Is
is it a
wrestling
lie?
fake? I don't think it is. It's
Not
not.
complete it's
Right.
scripted.
Right, right, right. It's
It's
choreographed.
like
It's
RP. It's
choreographed.
RP.
It's like a fine dance, baby. You need
Mm.
2 willing participants who are gonna put it all on the table and leave it all on the line, for someone to come out on top. It's choreographed. That's the same thing with, like, that's the same thing if we were to get into this, the ho guy, the
The
thing
big
is
ho,
that
ho,
I'm
ho.
not here to I'm not
He's
here
the
to break
original
any
pimp.
beliefs. I'm not here to break any beliefs. So it's like if you were it's not that is there some fat man that rides a sleigh of reindeer around and drops gifts down chimneys? I don't know. I don't know.
I never had
But
a chimney.
is there a spirit or an essence of giving that brings the best out of people and this moment in time throughout the year we take this as an opportunity to become closer with one another and appreciate the little things and enjoy the warmth of presence and presence of both physical and material. It's like I think that it's like
It's for the greater good. I think that's
it's for
probably
the greater
what the
good.
government says too when they're fucking forcing this shit. You're like, "You know what? We're telling them lies, and
You love
but
it.
it's for the greater good of the people.
That's
They're gonna love us later." Just like
that's
a
it.
parent, like, they're gonna hate us now, but they'll love us later
That's it.
with the
That's it.
chip.
It's it. It's it. It's not it doesn't have to be broken down to one particular example that we can just say, "Yep, that's what it is." You know what I mean? It's the same thing with extraterrestrial life. It's like, is it out there? Probably.
Yeah,
But is it a
maybe.
two-armed, kind of octagonal head,
Is it
big-eyed,
ET?
kind of liquidy, kind of slimy looking thing? I doubt it. I doubt it because we tried to pinpoint it to make it look like one specific thing. It doesn't. It doesn't. It can come in a multitude of different ways, and that's the same thing with the essence of Christmas and the essence of religion. It comes in just a multitude of ways. It gives us a reason to believe, to be kind to one another, and to just just to understand that the world isn't always so negative.
It's weird, like, based on cultures and religion, because like, in the Jewish religion, we don't really have, like, a fancy dude who does anything. It's kinda just real
Mm-mm.
raw, like, killing
Well,
firstborns and fucking
in Judaism, it was that way pre World War II. There was an entity, there was something, someone, but
not
then
really,
post
well, like
Holocaust, yeah, post like I've studied loosely like
well, in Judaism,
Judaism.
like, it'd be pagan to have other deities other than God that you are giving, like, other than, like, somebody who would be for God or be, like a prophet, so to speak. So it'd be like, in that case, there's no like, Santa Claus is pagan. We're praising a thing. That's what they say. I don't really I'm not into religion like that. I like, potato latkes and shit. That's more my thing. But I think that you've got like culture based on different cultures, what's acceptable and what's used for control in a sense. Not control, but influence. Influence, we'd say, is different. Some may need the artificial fake person that's doing it. Some may need the concern of like hell or death or being shunned out. But it all seems like it's always goes down to control. Like, is it real or is it just a form of control? I don't know. I think
I
it's
think it's a
control.
form of guideline. I think it's
Guideline.
in order to
Guideline is a
keep
better
in order to live amongst other people, there has to be rules. There has to be guidelines. Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not sin, thou shalt not. It's just basic rules in order to live amongst each other. So it does have to happen. There does need to be some level of control. Whether it's control or just obedience or discipline, not obedience, but like uh,
structure.
order, structure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But then
But
you look
yeah,
at the influence, like in the Roman Catholic Church, is how they grabbed a hold of stuff and it became like a governing thing. So then,
right.
like,
That goes down a
where
whole other
where
tier.
well, it's like how do we know what is that and what's not that? How do we
Right.
know what we're consistently pushing
Well, you
that's
can't
then
anymore, especially when it
yeah,
comes to Christianity, because Christianity is the most dominant religion. That's the one that's won all the wars. Not all the wars, but the most wars. Hence the
majority.
most. And I guess you could say Islam, I believe, is the second biggest religion. So it's like but it's it's Christianity that's beaten out everything else. And I say beaten loosely. I don't really fall into any religion
Take
in
it
particular.
over, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wars have been won over religion. The
I mean, yeah,
Crusades. It
they've
was like
literally been
200 years.
created. Yeah,
Yeah,
over
it
belief
was.
systems.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it dominated, and then therefore, it's like this is why you ended up having priests taking this power and running with it. It's no different than government. It's like we talked about this last epi. It's like humans are prone to corruption. Humans are prone to greed. Humans are prone to selfishness, and that will form whether it's government, whether it's religion, whether it's a business, whether it's that's why you need these right checks and balances, or in the case of religion, a Bible that says the 10 Commandments. But of course, everybody else has to follow it except for the priests. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
except for whoever
yeah.
writes it and doesn't. Yeah, and then make sure that you put things that are very misogynistic and force the women to do stuff. Well, at least in the, like in the Jewish religion. So if you go into the synagogue or the church, especially in Orthodox Jewish religion, the women, you go somewhere else. You don't distract the men, right?
Oh
Cover
God,
yourself up.
honestly, I
Go
think that's
away.
in every single religion.
Don't
That
distract.
has
It's
to
so
be.
crazy.
Yeah, I think that's in every single religion, and that's only because like I can't say that with by fact, but I'm gonna. Is that it's like these are all practices that
Written by
like
dudes.
early AD, like we're talking, 10, I don't know, 0
Fucking negative
AD.
1.
Yeah, -1. Yeah,
It's
-1
-1
before the
AD.
0. Before the
Before the
0.
0.
Yeah, it's actually there's BCE, which is before Common Era, and then there's ACE, after Common Era, and then there's the religious way where it says after death, and BC and AD, after death and before Christ.
It's
But
all
that's
confusing.
yeah, it's not how you actually keep track of time.
It should be 0 and then
Well, if
2022.
you want to, you got the Big Bang at the very beginning, so that
Yeah.
would be 0. And
0.
then even then, is it 0? Who knows? Who knows? It's such a crazy
So
question. You
yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
is. That is.
Because
Some people or some civilizations say that it's been a billion years we've been around. Some say 10,000 civilizations. Well, I mean, we know
we've
that like
been billions.
Sumerians
It's been
were
billions.
around, yeah, for a long fucking time, first civilization, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's a
It's
whole nother
crazy.
that's a whole nother
That's a
lane.
whole other epi. That's a whole other epi. I know. I love it. We'll dive into that shit later.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
you that right now. Welcome, guys. Good morning. We kind of went down the little rabbit hole that Top Buds is just oh so well known for, guys. It's Wednesday,
Yeah.
March 2nd. This is
Where
the
my weed
second
at?
of 3 shows this week, baby. We're here every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I always want to say every day. We're here not yet, guys. Not yet.
Technically, you and
We
I
are.
are.
Yeah.
Because
You
we've
and I
got From
are
the
live
Stash
every
and
single
our
day.
own fucking shows. The only day is Sunday, and you still go live on Sunday in the daytime.
Sunday mornings, yeah. Hey, did you enjoy this episode? If so, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget, we got more videos just like this. Click them, leave some comments, and we'll see you next time.
And of course, go to watchcotv.com. Peace.